from Los Angeles, California. We're the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
I thought everyone lived in Hollywood.
Oh, hello, friends! Welcome to Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who has thrown away his pants and underwear and is currently tickling his boner with a feather duster. That's Jeff Clark.
Hey, guys.
And transmitting to us from the great beyond, the bearded booger-eating ghoul known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo.
And here to kick off our, I don't even know what you would call this, our post-500 legacy, the great Lori Levine is here.
Phase 2.
Well, studio audience.
Yeah. Yeah, this is. I guess this would be our phase 2. We're just about to start seeing the Infinity Stones. We got a cameo after the credits last week from Thanos. Now we're ready. Jeff got every one of those references.
I have to lead off with, I think you played the wrong theme song for this episode, because I feel like we should be doing What the Fuck Did I Just Watch after that piece of shit movie I had to watch last night.
Wow, we're just getting straight into this shit, huh?
Well, it hurts.
Right into it.
Wow.
Yikes.
I
Okay,
liked you.
I hated every second of that movie.
Of Judgment Night. You hated it.
Of Judgment Night. Yes.
The soundtrack?
The soundtrack, no. The soundtrack was the only redeeming factor about it. And also the best acting performance in the film was Everlast when he died.
What about the line where he says, I don't think he's coming up?
Yeah. Everlast was the only one that was taking this seriously.
Thank you.
Come on, the bad guy from Mask, that guy never mails in a performance. He was spectacular. I'm pretty sure he's nominated.
When Steven Dorff at the end said, I'm too young for this shit, I threw my hands up in just completely giving up on that.
Oh, that's it. 2 shutty thumbs down.
I mean, in his defense, I think he was like 19 in that movie.
Yeah, he was the kid brother playing the kid brother.
I know, but that is such just a cop-out line from Lethal Weapon with Emilio just doing Loaded Weapon before this film.
Can I just tell you guys, when I rewatched that film, couldn't Kevin play that Emilio role?
He does kind of give off
so much of him.
Yeah. He does give off Emilio vibes.
I
mean that in a bad way.
I am being typecast here. Like, that is my wheelhouse, getting lost in the hood and falling into danger. I feel like I could pull that off well. That would be believable for me. I don't know.
People would be afraid for you.
Yeah. Jeff doesn't watch many movies other than Netflix documentaries and Armageddon. And he came on, it must have been episode 498, because I think, actually I don't remember when it was exactly, but Jeff bought the Blu-ray of it so he could watch it over and over, and watched it 5 times in 1 week, you said?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it at least 100 times in my life. It's a Clark classic, 5-dicker.
I told Kevin I'd give it 6 dicks. I honestly think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't understand what Shuddy. Okay, maybe the lines were a little cheesy, but it wasn't going for Oscar award winning dialogue, even though it should have been nominated.
Dennis Leary was just a much less funny Edgar Friendly.
Do you know what I looked up? That was the same year Schindler's List came out. So obviously they overlooked Judgment Night.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's a good call. Yeah. Steven Spielberg, man, he's just in the critics' pockets. That's all it is.
I mean, not even to be funny, Jeremy Piven and Dennis Leary's roles in that film are better than almost any role I've ever seen. I will tell you, Cuba Gooding Jr., not his best. But the other two, I mean, those are great. They were really good.
Jeremy Piven acted well, for sure.
He's like your Judas. He's so great. I don't think he'd be Ari Gold if it weren't for that film.
I enjoyed his like slick dick. I can talk my way out of this persona. I mean, I gave it 3.75 dicks. I was not expecting Shuddy to be so bummed out.
Oh, so bummed out. This is on a very short list with Mean Guns and The Dead Don't Die.
Okay, you're just being
Wow.
fucking silly.
Yeah.
You're
What
being
is this,
silly.
branding? Come on.
No, I am not. I went into this.
Shuddy's doing a bit.
I swear to God, I am not doing a bit. I bitched and moaned during the entirety of the movie.
Were you
about how
stoned?
Jeff could include. Yes, I was.
Was it a
How
bad
Jeff
stone?
could include this with Goodfellas, T2, and Armageddon.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe not Armageddon. Maybe let's separate Armageddon from those movies.
Do you guys know that we had Jeremy Piven on our show on The Whole? And I wanted to ask him about Judgment Night, but I didn't want to offend him. You know, I didn't know if he felt like he was a better actor at this point. And it's the biggest, like, it pisses me off that I didn't bring up Judgment Night. And then Jeff wrote to me, he was so good in Judgment Night. I'm like, fuck, I know.
That's
Yeah,
right.
We had Piven on the Ella show a while back. And I remember he does have a bit of a reputation for being kind of prickly. So we're like, shit, I could see this interview going south. But he was pretty chill. Like, we're like, oh, wow, that went way better than we thought it would. I feel like he would not have been bummed out if you brought up
I know.
Judgment Night.
I wish maybe we'll get a part 2 going. Because even when we did it, he was like on his way to get dinner with his mom.
I mean,
He's
if
such
you're
a nice
not
guy.
if you're not being ironic about it and you don't like come off weird, it's like I would sell it. It's like, dude, I fucking love that movie. I don't know, man. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Shuddy Boy, when they get to like the projects and the guy and Dennis Leary is talking to that kid and they want to go inside and Dennis takes his cash out and he says, he starts like counting money and the kid goes, I'm not going to take your money. And Dennis Leary goes, no, you can't take my money, but you can take my money. That's not the best line in American cinema ever.
No.
I say it all the time. I reference that all the time. Like when I'm doing like when we're
Do it.
we're
Let me hear you, a man do it.
when we're pulling money together for delivery, it's always like, no, you cannot take my money, but you can take my money.
Oh, it's
And-
so
and
good.
they're-
Chills
Yeah.
right now.
I didn't do as well as Dennis, granted, but yeah, and they're going back and forth. But right before that, the line before that, they're going back and forth. And he's like, "Man, I don't want that money. It's got blood on it." Oh, what money have
What
you
money
ever seen
doesn't?
that doesn't? Yeah,
Oh God! Like
fucking awesome. And
I will
you know,
admit that was a decent back and forth,
I
but
feel
it
like
did not.
we're turning Shuddy Boy
Yeah.
because
No,
everything I'm
you're
giving
not.
him, he's like, "Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
That
was
was,
good."
but like I said, I really liked Everlast at the end fight scene when he took off everything that was hiding who he really was and just walked around looking like Everlast. out of a House
Everlast
of
had like
Pain
6
video.
heart attacks since that movie, probably because of how much he put into that movie.
I wish he did
Yeah.
more stuff. I'd never really seen him act before. I was like, holy shit, because he's also he's a close friend of the Ella show. He's done like live performances on our show and stuff, and we all watched
You
him.
see how thin he was in that movie too? He's
I
like
know.
so young and thin. Now he's like, not that he's fat, but he's like stocky.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't look like the Everlast we saw in Vegas.
Yeah, we all watched. Did I technically open up for Everlast?
Yes, you did technically open
I don't
for
even know the
Everlast.
story, but yes.
Yeah, so I was not expecting to see him in the movie, and I was like, holy shit, look at fucking Everlast go. He should be in more stuff. But yeah,
One of the best drug experiences I've ever had was rolling and seeing Everlast do Jump Around at the end of the set. That was probably one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah, I was hyped for that.
Shuddy Boy took his shoes off for that. Oh, I'm when he says so, I am gonna jump around.
Oh, I was jumping for sure. You
Well-
can't fucking be at an Everlast concert and not jump when it's jump around.
I actually used to date a guy that's really close with Everlast, so the 3 of us would hang out. And he
I'm
was
jealous.
the coolest guy ever. He was telling me his mom loved Rosie O'Donnell so much because they're like, you know, the Irish thing, and he looked so normal and nice.
Lori, it's been a minute since the last time you were on the show is when you were actually in LA. So that's
it's
got to be
it's
what,
been
like
like 3 minutes.
6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe.
I don't even know. Something like that, though.
How are things in New York right now? I know we were talking in the Easter egg a little bit. You haven't been getting your usual burgers, but is stuff sort of opening back up yet?
Well, I will tell you, there's no tourists here. So that's what's missing. So people are back. The traffic is back. But like Broadway, I live near Broadway. It's like hay balls rolling through there. There's nothing. And this was like 3 weeks ago. I walked by a movie theater and it was still showing movies from January 20, like on the red marquee thing. It was still labeled. I can't remember what the movie was. Like, it's just like as if the world died and no one's touched it. The neon sign was showing January 2020 stuff.
Yeah,
I Am Legend.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like you're in, like, when you go to Europe and they still show like old movies as new movies.
Yeah. Oh, When Harry Met Sally. Cool. Let's check it out.
Yeah, it's the traffic is completely back to normal here. I had to make San Diego trips 2 weekends in a row, and it was a 4-hour drive there both times.
Because I stayed locked down in Manhattan all of March, all of April. They pretty much told us, if you are in New York City, assume you have COVID. So I didn't want to see my family. I just stayed alone, like went to the supermarket with gloves and a mask and like came home, took like a shower for like 20 minutes, poured bleach on my body. But then in May, I said, I'm going to go see my family. And the New Jersey Turnpike had like me and one other car on it. Like nobody was going anywhere. I went through the Lincoln Tunnel in about 45 seconds.
Holy shit.
But it's all back.
Ugh, that's annoying.
Do you miss it? Do you miss the emptiness?
I did, like for driving, it was great. But what's great? The subways are empty. There's like, because, most people are working from home. And so when you get on the subway, I will say it does smell nice because they're cleaning them. But the last subway I took, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do I smell? This woman on the other side of the train, it was just 3 people in this car. She just takes out a cigarette, like a 120, like a big fat cigarette, and starts smoking it and drinking a tall boy beer in the subway car at like 4:20. I don't know why I picked that time, but in the afternoon.
I'm picturing the woman from Beetlejuice, like Juno, the caseworker. That's who I'm picturing sitting there cracking open a tall boy and lighting the longest cigarette ever.
This was just like a 70-year-old white woman just in her own world, not homeless, like just doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, if there's ever a time to not give a fuck, this is pretty much it. You're running out of I don't give a fuck time.
I was most mad that she had to pull her mask down to smoke.
Yeah, because I picture like if everybody is working from home and nobody's taking the subway, my experience of working in New York, that just leaves the people that poop on the floor. So I imagine if you took the subway... I have
seen 2 different poops on the subway since this quarantine started.
Like you saw the poop happening or the aftermath?
The aftermath, yeah. Which, like, again, whenever you're excited about a car, like, oh, no one's in that one. There is a reason.
A turd. Yeah.
There's usually a turd. And it's like, the sad thing is like, and I know this sounds mean, it's a homeless person's because it's dehydrated. Like, I know it well.
Yeah, they're always sad turds.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Do you consider yourself an expert of homeless shit?
Me or Kevin?
No, you. You said you knew it well.
Yeah, I don't
consider Kevin an expert at anything. Actually, poop,
I would say I have like a master's of arts in that. I've seen it. Like I can tell it from a dog poop on the street.
Yeah, because I live my new apartment. There's an alleyway facing me, and then a busy main street on the other side of it. So I call it Poop Slime Alley because there's always stuff in there and you don't know whether it's poop or slime. And my parking space is a dual tandem. So one of my neighbors parks next to me, and we each have like 2 stacked spots. And the person I share that little space with has not moved their car since lockdown. That thing, like, the tires are going flat. It's got an inch of dust on it. Has not moved. And that creates the perfect coverage to make that the Poop Slime Alley restroom. So I still go places, and I'm going and taping the Ellis Show twice a week. So that person in front of their car, between the wall, there's like 5 turds. And they're going to
Have you ever seen it in action?
No, I've seen a guy jacking off. And one time when my mom and sister came here and stayed with me, I made us reservations at this fancy restaurant, so we all got dressed up all nice. And we walked around the corner to get in my car, and a guy was in my parking space currently blowing out the biggest crack hit I've ever seen in my life. Like, had the crack pipe, like, still close to his mouth and just like a Tommy Chong bong hit. It was insane.
And I actually walked by a guy smoking crack a few months ago. It's a very unique smell.
Yeah. There's no mistaking it. Yeah, so we had to walk through that. We're like fanning it out of the way to get to my car.
Could you get crack contact high, or does it not work like that?
I'm sure.
It does work like that, yes.
You would need more than just walking through a cloud in an aerated parking space.
I think you'd have to
sorry,
shotgun
Kevin.
it into you.
I'm sorry. Elaborate, Shuddy. It does work like that, you said.
Yeah, if you inhale enough pot smoke, you'll get a contact high. It's the same concept.
Do you have any first-hand experience?
Not with secondhand, no.
Oh, nice. Okay.
One time I shotgunned Shuddy a crack hit.
I actually hung that fucking can of worms.
I actually hung upside down, and we did it like Spider-Man and MJ in the movie.
I was MJ. I was Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Man, that's hot. That should be a cover photo.
And Kevin was wearing a mask before anybody back then.
Yep, trendsetter.
Oh, he was masked up for sure.
Just mark my words. In 6 months, people will be smoking crack too, and I'll be like, "You're welcome."
But so the other thing that they did in New York is they gave hotels over to the homeless. So like I lived next to a hotel that they just gave it to single homeless men. So not families and not children, not women, it's just single men. So you can imagine what's going on in front, and like mental health help, just you get to live in this hotel. And so we have a lot of extra crime now because of that.
Man, that's probably like the nicest carpet those guys have ever pooped on.
Somebody showed me a picture from inside the hotel, and I mean,
like
they'll never be able to.
It's like the overlook from The Shining.
What was the Cecil's like? What, like 4 floors are where the house, like the tourists stay, and then you have like 17 floors of homeless people.
Yeah, pretty much. Now they're like trying to do the first 4 are luxury apartments, and then they're going to leave the rest untouched. It's like, wait, how the fuck could you flip a luxury apartment in the middle of Skid Row?
Well, it's got that nice pool on the roof.
Of course, yeah. I mean, views, you know. Yeah.
Well, I have some breaking news. Lori, you're probably not aware of this, but I took a little break from weed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I get a little panicky sometimes when I smoke weed, and
I do too. That's why I don't smoke. I get such anxiety.
Yeah, and I have the reverse effect of most pot smokers. Like if you're having a shitty day, you can smoke your worries away. And if I'm having like a bad day or dark thoughts or something, the weed just amplifies the bad voice and quiets the rational, normal voice. So my last remaining sugar glider died a couple days before New Year's, and it really fucked me up. And I knew that if I smoked, I would just think about him and get super depressed and make things a million times worse. So I stopped smoking, and then it sort of just continued on, and I was like, well, I don't know. I do feel a little bit more clear-headed, so I'll just see how long I can ride this out for. But then I saw Seth Rogen tweet about how he is launching his cannabis company, that he's been working on with his writing partner, Evan Goldberg, for the last 10 years. And I was like, ooh, that sounds enticing. And I went to his website because he was like promoting it on Twitter and stuff. And all it was a page where you can sign up and put your, name and email address and shit. So I signed up for his newsletter. And I'm like, when is this weed coming? So I'm looking on Weed Maps, looking at the dispensaries nearby to see if anybody's selling it. Because one of the big things that sounded cool to me was like, I'm going to be selling this strain. Wait a second, I actually have some of it here. This stuff, Pancake Ice.
Wow.
He's like, this is the strain that I smoke all day. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. Smoke the same shit that Seth Rogen smokes. And I saw him announce that, like, I think it was March 11th. He's like, that's when the website goes live. So I woke up in the morning, I checked it, and it was still just the sign-up page. And then I refreshed it like an hour later, and I was in a digital waiting room, and it showed my queue number in line.
Wait, this is like how I got my COVID shot, but go on.
Yeah, it was like getting a PS5.
This is how you shot for Top Shot.
So the damn I'm in 5,500th place in the line. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! And it's
My lucky number.
It's not even giving me an estimated time. So I just left the tab open and I'm going about my day and stuff. And then I check it and slowly moving up. And then I see people online bitching that the website's crashing and stuff sold out. And I think he's only selling 3 different strains of weed at the moment. So I was like, shit. And I was like, fuck it. If I'm still online, I'm just gonna ride this out and see where it goes. I actually get in, and it takes me to the store, and stuff was in stock. So I threw a couple eighths in the shopping cart and checked out. And then 4 hours later, this lady shows up in a car and drops it off.
You got in 4 hours?
Yeah.
What's the price on it?
It's $60 an eighth. And then the tax on weed is absolutely insane. So I think each eighth was like another $17 in taxes.
Yeah, it's like 30% tax.
It's absurd.
Gavin Newsom.
Don't even get me started.
But I do like that maybe an ex-NFL player had something to do with your thought process that you could smoke weed again.
Oh, are you talking about Ricky Williams being on the Ella Show?
Yeah, and you asked him specifically how to get back into it.
He quit the NFL to smoke pot.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of commitment.
Loves weed. Oh my goodness, does he love weed?
Did he smoke during the show?
No. But it was weird. We all took a picture
afterwards. He doesn't like it as much as me because.
Yeah, whatever. We all took a picture afterwards, and somehow me and Tully, the sober guys, looked wrecked. Beyond fucking wrecked. If you see that picture, it's absolutely insane. We look like we just had a bong rip contest, and Ellis and Ricky were just perfectly fine. I don't know how that worked out.
Wait,
but
Kevin, so the pot that you bought, does that make you feel okay?
Well, I tried it out. I fired up my Volcano for the first time in, 3.5 months.
Did it smell like burning dust from all the dust that had settled into it?
No, it smelled like pancakes.
I got a keyboard air duster and blew it out.
Okay.
But I think a lot of it was since it had been such a long break and the excitement of smoking Seth Rogen's weed. But I actually did feel pretty solid because it's really, really potent weed. It's 33.32% THC.
Is that high, guys? I don't even know.
For flower, yes, it is.
Yeah. Anywhere between 25 to 30 is like really high. Once you get over 30 and dealing with some good shit.
Yeah, like I've heard some people say they've never seen weed even with that high of a percentage. But
wow.
I was prepared to get blinked out of existence. I was like, this thing's going to rewrite my genetic code and I'm going to fall into the Matrix or some shit.
Is it sativa or indica or hybrid?
It's sativa.
Okay.
Which I also usually don't smoke because it makes me more panicky.
Right.
But I liked it. It was.
Did you get panicky? Did you think about the sugar glider?
I didn't. So I actually filmed it for a video for our Patreon. I did a dank attack, parodying Jeff's snack attack, and then I put on the South Park vaccination special because I think it was the day that came out, and it was just me sitting there with my blanket, giggling at South Park, and when that ended, I put on more South Park on HBO Max, and just watched some of the older stuff and caught a little case of the giggles. It did take some effort on my part to be like, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. And then I went a day of no smoking and then fired it up again and did a really, really big volcano hit. And I watched that movie Slackers. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yes, Slacker's a great movie.
Yeah, with Devin Sawa and Jason Segel. And
I mean, Shuddy Boy wouldn't like it, but yeah, it's good.
no, it's no
He's got
Twilight.
shitty taste.
Twilight is the only franchise that Shuddy Boy's into.
That is not true. Don't even.
But I was like, hey, if I'm back in, I'm going to make a fucking thing out of this. So I popped some popcorn on the stove and melted some butter and cracked some sea salt over it. I got everything all set up nice and perfect. Queued the movie up, fired up the volcano, did a huge bag, and then I sat down and I'm eating the popcorn, watching the movie, and all of a sudden I forgot how to eat popcorn. I didn't know it was
That's good
happening.
weed.
I was like, is this how you chew? And the popcorn started tasting like dust in my mouth. And I didn't even know if I was actually eating it or not or chewing on my cheek. I got ridiculously stoned. Like 8th grade stoned. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I had to rewind
Were you
the
able
movie.
to keep it together during that?
Yeah, was it fun?
There was about a 5-minute period where it was not fun. and then I kind of like clawed my way back to sanity. And
See, that's the thing that I always like. I understand the anxiety attack part of it because there have been occasions where that's happened recently with me in edibles and smoking, and it's just being able to sit there and convince yourself just that you're just too high. That's all it is you're too high, and once it levels out, you're going to be fine.
I hate it. I remember being young, and I'm like,
That
how the
part
fuck?
sucks. That it's yeah.
I heard like people that were older than me say like, yeah, I used to be a giant stoner, and then I stopped because it started making me all panicky and shit. And I'm like, how is that possible? I can't even fucking comprehend that. And now here's my fucking old lame ass bitching about 33% THC. God.
I don't know how I used to smoke in college. Like I couldn't even do it anymore. I never thought anything about it. I would just smoke and go to class and like do like research with rats, and I was fine.
Yeah, I mean, doing a bong hit used to be like drinking a cup of coffee for me.
It's like crazy. Wait, Kevin, how many dicks are you going to give this pod?
How many Seth Rogen pod dicks are you gonna suck?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for something powerful, this is as powerful as it gets. Off of one hit from a volcano bag, I forgot how to eat popcorn.
So not even the whole bag.
What a testimonial!
No, I filled it up 1 hit's worth.
Okay.
1 hit wonder.
Wow.
Crashed. Yeah.
If you filled it up fully or multiple hits, could you have left it there this whole time and like walked over there and taken another hit?
No, it does not
No.
keep very long.
The particles, I think, just dissipate and stick to the inside of the bag and make it all like gummy.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
have to.
popular word
You
right
have
now.
about a minute or so before you don't really get anything.
Jeff, I don't know if you remember this, but one time when you were over here doing the podcast, you were like, "Oh, hey, let's pack up the bong. Let's do some bong hits. I feel like bong hits tonight." And we packed up my big ass bong, and I don't know if you remember how panicky and weird I got, but I almost fell off the face of the earth from that one.
I don't. I mean,
I do
you're just
remember the next
weird.
day you
I
were
just
like,
know you as weird.
yeah, you were like, "Man, you were being a real fucking pussy last night with that shit."
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I believe. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. I believe you now.
This shit had me more rocked than that.
But you.
I love Kevin's impression of you.
Yeah, everyone does. I just got to go with it, and I don't know. I
it's
hate
very
that I
good.
sound like that. Yeah, but apparently, according to everyone else, which is just terrible because he sounds like a fucking dweeb. But he's doing an impression of me. Lori, when you were out here last time, you didn't smoke any California weed?
I might have, because the gentleman I was staying with was, like every other man in Los Angeles, had like all these grow stations.
Oh yeah, it's like a
Grow
prerequisite
station.
for being out here. Yeah,
Yeah, it's every man in LA, I think.
we all farm. You're right.
When I got my California's driver's license at the DMV, they gave me like a sprout in a tiny little potted plant.
Like, welcome.
Here's your complimentary sprout. Enjoy.
Water it 3 times a day.
Like when I was stuck in traffic in LA, I couldn't believe how much pot I just smell. When
Oh,
you
yeah.
stop, it's crazy.
What else
Yeah.
do you do in traffic? I don't even know.
You do like
Yeah,
La
go
La
time.
Land and break out in song.
You could do that.
I got a second
Shuddy, what is
string too.
happening?
See,
The-
that should
Parker
have an
is-
Oscar.
Parker is sitting on the love seat across from me, just staring at me and going, "Err." So
Is that
that's
called-
what's happening. Houseplant is what it's called.
I'm just waiting for the dog to like jump into screen and maul Shuddy Boy. Dog sounds
Yep.
pissed.
Well, he might have to go out. So you guys talk. I'm gonna.
All right.
Oh, you're
yeah.
going to fire somebody and you're pretending this.
I'm not. I do that right here. I don't hide for that.
Shuddy Boy, he never sleeps. Like even when we record Patreon shows on the weekend, we were doing supermarket queefs on the weekend, and Shuddy Boy's taking his phone out and firing people like, sorry guys, yeah, business calls. Acai never sleeps.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
This is what we have to deal with.
Why are there so many bad employees there?
Because
You
Shuddy
know,
Boy
it's
trains
a,
them.
It's a franchise. I mean, yeah, if you're paying hourly employees, you're going to have certain issues.
I guess they're
that come
like
with
probably
that.
all actors too, right?
Yeah, in Bethlehem. Yeah, for sure. A bunch of actors in Bethlehem and Quakertown. And you know how many actors are in Pennsylvania?
Oh, is Shuddy Boy not in LA?
No.
No.
Oh,
He's in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. They're known for their
yeah, it's a big
liberal
acting
arts.
community.
He
I
li-
think
he
that's
lives
where
next-
George Clooney lives.
He lives
Right,
next
yeah,
door to
yeah.
Schrute Farms. So, Lori, we got to give you props on the whole. The wonderful
Thanks.
podcast, which is now, I guess you guys have switched formats to just like a straight up interview podcast.
Yeah, you know what's we always had people guess in, and we were taping at the Comedy Cellar, which is the most famous comedy club in New York City. So when there were comedians going to perform, we'd like try and grab them to come up, and people would come do an interview here and there because it's a cool place to go. But then when quarantine kicked in, people were like, Rob, my co-host, was like sending out letters, and people were like very much interested since they're home anyway. And we would couldn't believe some of the people we were getting. It all started with Tom Arnold, have you met him, Kevin?
Yes. Yeah.
One of the nicest people in the world, I think. I think he's so. Wait, what's going on, Jeff? You don't like Tom Arnold?
I think Tom Arnold's underrated. I love Tom
Okay.
Arnold, actually. Yeah.
Also, I was about to really get pissed.
No,
Jeff
Tom
and I
Arnold's
are
fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're big fans of his work in True Lies as well.
Oh my God.
Shuddy Boy,
Tom
not
Arnold's
so
a legend.
much.
And the best part about him is he could have secrets to the CIA. He would tell you. He's just so honest and open, and
He doesn't have a
every
filter.
time. No. And if we've had him on twice now, and both times he just it's over 2 hours, and I'm not bored. I'm having so much fun listening to his stories. So Tom Arnold he's opened doors for other people to come on, and Jeff wouldn't like this, but we kind of took a political turn, and then we just kept getting really, really great guests. Such
Yeah.
interesting people.
What was
It's
it
not
like?
that I don't like it. It's that they wouldn't like me talking about it.
Yeah, we're the one thing we are respect. We respect them very much. We're not gonna start calling out their shit. We had Anthony
you-
Scaramucci on.
You fucking libtards. Don't Don't fucking soft soap it.
But like with Anthony, we had Anthony Scaramucci on, and he like worked for Trump for I think 8 days.
I don't think it was that long.
No, he made it known it was 8 days, and he got fired for talking shit to Bannon.
Yeah, he said something about sucking his own cock or something like that, right?
Yeah, and then John Kelly fired him, but he still hung on to Trump after he was fired. He still like stuck up for him, and then all of a sudden he didn't anymore. And like when I asked him what made you finally stop loving Trump, he goes, "You know what? Like you come after my wife, then that's it." Like he was so honest with us.
Yeah, and then you guys had McConaughey on.
Mm-hmm. And Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He's awesome.
Who was great.
Yeah, he's another talker. You just throw a question at that guy and he goes. Tim Robbins, another legend.
Funny thing about Neil, which I said on the air, I've seen him on the subway. He's like, he would be on the subway with his MacBook open, working, just sitting there like a normal person. And the man sticks out like a sore thumb. He's so normal.
Yeah. And then he poops on a cardboard box and then he gets off at his next
one
stop.
Poop though, not, just a quick one.
Very hydrated, his poops.
Yeah. It's like Orion's belt.
So I want to ask Tom Arnold about the best damn sports show. I feel like he should still be on
show.
I feel like he should still be on TV. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be good with Barstool. Maybe they go in a direction he doesn't want to be a part of, but I feel like he would be good there.
Yeah, he'd be excellent. I just fear he has a daughter now, so he's probably like changed a little bit. But the one thing I like about Tom Arnold the most is when you ask him about Roseanne Barr, he has nothing but nice things to say about her. Like he says it was a challenging relationship, but he's like, I couldn't even believe she took me under her wing. She was the biggest comedian out there and she like believed in me.
Apparently comedians like love Roseanne, right? Like most of them have like really good opinions.
Her first big stand-up, she does a whole thing, and you got to remember the time. I forget what year it is, like in the 80s, and she's saying like, would you rather kiss ass or suck dick, like at your job? For me, I'd rather suck a dick because there's a beginning and an end, and then hopefully a promotion. It was like the funniest skit that she just did, and she was a housewife still at that time. She wasn't picked up yet.
Yeah, she kind of fucked herself when she did the whole national anthem thing.
Yeah, that was a really bad move.
Yeah, she's had some missteps, for sure.
It all kind of went down after that national anthem, I think.
Well, at least she has her peanut farm.
I think it's macadamia nuts.
Oh, really? I knew she had some sort of nut farm. It's so weird because she's very kooky, too, and she just so happens to have a nut farm. Like, isn't that a little on the nose?
And in Hawaii.
Yeah, for real.
So weird.
Do you have any like dream guests that you would love to get on the whole?
Of course, like Obama.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to take him with Springsteen now because they're a package deal.
Then forget it. I'm not doing that.
I'm at the point right now where I'm like, fuck, I really hope the world opens up again soon so all these motherfuckers have something to do again. Like, every cooped up famous person is just like, well, I can't go out and act. I'll just start a podcast. Like,
yeah, I will say that I'm not going to name names, but sometimes we do a podcast with a guest and then they hit up Rob after to ask about how to create their own podcast.
Oh, man. I hope Rob is like sabotaging them. Like, so first what you want to do is you want to get an empty soup can and then find the oldest computer you can get and pour soda in the speakers.
Do you know anything about electrician work?
Even we have Tim Robbins on to promote his podcast.
Yeah. Do you think everybody's going to, once the world opens up and there's like things to do and movies to star in and like other things to do to get you to leave the house, are all these podcasts going to disappear? Or do you think these motherfuckers are just going to find a way to keep doing it.
I think they're
going to
keep going because I think that they're so easy to do. Sometimes I was watching one the other day where a guy was recording it in his car. So it's like he would be driving anyway. Why not put a podcast up?
See, let me just clear that up a little bit. So everyone listening at home, it's not easy to do a podcast. It's really, really hard. You probably shouldn't even try. I wouldn't even try if I were you. It's really hard.
It's not worth
it. It's not
no.
worth it. Yeah. I mean, we did it 9 years for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say anything bad about us and what we're doing, but you don't want to go through what we went through. All right.
I agree.
Shuddy fucking did a bong rip of piss last week.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, that is as literal as it gets.
Yep. Just
yeah.
Literally.
Well, okay. So think of it. The water was piss. He couldn't make a bong out of his piss. So it's better that you were here for the Oreo snack attack, to be honest.
Yeah. So what we do,
very lucky.
What we do every year is we make Oscar picks, and whoever gets the least amount right has to do a punishment. And Shuddy Boy lost, and the punishment for last year was you have to piss in a bong and then do a bong hit through it. And that's actually where this drop is from.
I'm glad that's over with.
He was like on the verge of vomiting, had finished his hit. He took his medicine and then uttered this.
I'm glad that's over with. While trying not to vomit.
Wait, how could you have done Oscar picks? They just picked them today.
No, this was from last year.
Yeah.
From last year's
okay.
Oscars.
Because we usually
motherfucker was ducking us for a whole year.
Fuck you.
We usually wait until we're all in person so it can be like a big event. And, COVID hit. So it sort of just fucked us in the ass. And we're like, all right, episode 500's here. We can't do any like big event and invite people out and do something fun. So, Shuddy Boy, what do you say you pay up over Zoom? And he did it. Shuddy Boy delivered. He unfortunately got some of his penis on camera, so I had to learn how to blur things out in iMovie. But, that's the joy of podcasting. Even
that's a new skill on your resume right there.
10 years in, and I'm still learning, Lori. This job truly is a blessing.
And you let the Ellis Show know that you now can blur in iMovie.
I can blur dickheads. I've already updated my resume.
They're going to give you a raise.
So they did. I mean, you're right. They did put the Oscar picks out this year, and we've been talking
did you
about
guys pick?
No, Shuddy and Jeff don't want to do it this year. They're over it.
Wow.
I'm over it because consistently, Lori, I am the one who loses. I come up with these terrible punishments, and it ends up being me that has to do them.
Do you think because they're like LA boys and you're kind of out of it, they're like getting the Oscar knowledge over there?
Yeah, we're using our insider intel.
I do believe I have accused Jeff of that in previous years. I do. That does ring a bell as some sort of argument that I've made. I just don't. I like a very specific type of movie, and they're usually like over-the-top action movies or stupid comedy movies. So I don't.
Did you see Nomadland? Anyone?
Kevin did.
Yup, I saw it.
What'd you think?
Wait, no. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I loved
you
it.
Did.
I mean, a woman pooped in a bucket. Doesn't that do anything for you, Kevin?
I thought you see that on the subway all the time.
Not by a woman. I have not seen a female do it.
Oh, well, you've never met Pooping Kathy then. She calls our Google voice line and poops all the time. She's awesome.
Was that Frances McDormand?
Yeah, that's a clip from
McDormand Wishes.
That's a clip from Nomadland.
Well, I didn't even realize this, but notice I bring up two movies that both have an RV.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Lori, I
must have a niche.
I did watch Nomadland, and I can't get down with these. I'm a very sensitive guy. And if something sad happens, it ruins my fucking day. And these movies are so damn sad these days. I can't take it. Nomadland.
I will say the next day I was like, who do I have in my life? I was like reevaluating every.
It's so depressing.
It's like ecstasy the next day. Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
It was good.
It's beautifully shot.
Yeah, I'm not casting any aspersions on the way it was made. It was very well made. It was well acted. I thought it was pretty crazy how basically, well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago after I watched it. The only real actors in it are Frances McDormand and the dude from Good Night and Good Luck. Everybody
Is that
else,
her boyfriend?
yes, yeah, he was Edward R. Murrows in that Clooney movie. But like everybody else was an actual just nomad. They cast real people to play these, RV dwellers. And that was cool. But it's a movie that pretty much doesn't have a plot. It's just Frances McDormand lives in her van, she poops in a bucket, and she meets a whole bunch of other sad people, and they poop in various size buckets.
And at the Amazon bathroom.
Yeah. And then it ends, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so sad. And
I wanted her to live with the boyfriend.
I know. I wanted something happy. At least there was, like, she pooped in the bucket, and that was funny. And there were, like, a few moments of some very dry jokes that got cracked. And Nomadland, nominated for Best Picture, along with the other misery porn movie this year, The Sound of Metal. Did you watch that one?
No, everyone's talking about it, though.
Oh my God,
That's
it's
the
so
one
sad.
with the deaf drummer, right?
Yes. And they do these things where they knock the sound out, so you're hearing like muted, muffled sound like you're a deaf person with tinnitus. It's a fucking panic attack. The whole movie's a damn panic attack. Just depressing, start to finish. So I don't know. It seems like I'm in the minority here of people that just can't handle this misery porn stuff. Because
What else was nominated for Best Picture?
Judas and the Black Messiah. Way better movie. Awesome movie.
Yeah, it's real. It's good. He's good in it.
Yeah, still sad and heavy, but good. Mank.
Didn't like how it made the FBI look. I'll tell you that.
Mank. Another. I was a little underwhelmed by Mank.
No RV in it, I don't think.
No. And Mank. Gary Oldman didn't poop in any buckets, so that'll only take you so far.
I didn't see this.
Minari.
But I do love Gary Oldman.
Did you see Minari?
No.
I want to
You
see
guys?
it, but it's a $20 rental.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me neither. I never even heard of it.
It's a drama.
You could be
with
making up words.
Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead.
Oh,
he's up
Wow.
for Best Actor, I read this morning.
Yeah.
for that one, right?
Yep. Yeah. So there's those and Promising Young Woman, which I enjoyed. Trial of the Chicago 7, which I enjoyed. And The Father, which is an Anthony Hopkins movie that just actually hit theaters. It's only in theaters like right now. It's not even streaming or online
Do
rental
these
anywhere.
movies, does this sound familiar to you?
No.
Oh,
I had to look up
That's
the
why
fact.
I never
fucking
know
hate
what
the
the fuck
Oscars.
is going on in the Oscars.
I only know Nomadland and Judas and the Black Messiah.
You didn't see Mank? It was on Netflix.
No.
you didn't see Trials of the Chicago 7 or Trial of the
No,
Chicago 7?
I know what it is, though, thank God, but
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet. No,
You
I've been
strike me
watching
as a-
Ginny and Georgia on Netflix.
Do you try to
strike
only
me
watch
as a
like?
Aaron Sorkin gal?
Do you try to only watch like upbeat stuff? Being in the
No, I
lockdown
like
days.
depressing things.
Well, there's quite
But
a
then
few
I
of them
take
on
a
that
break.
list.
After I saw Nomadland, that's when there's this Netflix show. You guys would probably all hate it, but it's called Ginny and Georgia. And it's like funny and just like it sounds, like it's about a mom and a daughter. And it's like, it's just awful for any man to ever watch, but it made me happy the next day. I needed that film the next day or series.
Do you have a go-to pick-me-up movie other than Judgment
No, well,
Night?
Forensic Files.
Forensic Files.
Yeah,
What the fuck is
that
that?
makes me happy.
that those-
Do you know what it is? Do you guys watch it? I have the app.
I've heard of it, I think, but what it,
Oh,
isn't it
So
like a
it's-
History Channel show or something?
HLN.
It's murder porn, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good because it's 30 minutes, and from start to finish, you always know like who the killer is. Like it's never going to be like, and they're still looking for the killer. They always get the killer. It's true life. Someone was killed. It's usually, a woman, a husband killed her, got an insurance policy. They follow the forensic evidence all in 30 minutes. Like absolutely no commitment. Like even if I turn it on, on a regular TV, not on the Forensic Files app. Like if I'm at my parents' house and I've seen it, I know I'm like, it's 16 minutes in and I saw it. I know I'm going to get a new one in 14 minutes. Like it's just, I mean, it's the best thing ever.
So your Forensics Files is Kevin's Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Do you put that on when you just like get home and want to put something on?
Yes. Yeah.
Take your bra off.
Yeah.
I almost always go to sleep
breathe.
to Forensic Files.
That's why I signed up for Peacock, so I can have The Office and Parks and Rec streaming. And added bonus, it has a 24-hour Bob Ross channel. Very pleasant to fall asleep to, I will say.
Do you know that my mom got me into Forensic Files, and one day she wrote to me. She knew we were both like watching Forensic Files. It's like from different. I'm in Manhattan. She's out in Jersey, and she wrote, "One thing you should know, Lori: never murder someone because the technology keeps evolving with how they're going to find out who did it." Like it was great,
Good point.
That's great mother-daughter advice.
Yeah, because now with DNA,
never kill anybody.
They can tell from DNA that it's like, oh, he has blue eyes. Like they can tell that now.
I mean, I just have a rule of thumb. I just don't commit crimes. I've learned I'm bad at them. When I was a kid, anytime I did something wrong, anything I wasn't supposed to do, fucking immediately busted. I was the least slick kid on planet fucking Earth. Got caught every time I did something bad and faced the hammer. I got the consequences every time. And it's turned me into a scared, meek civilian. I see police officers walk by and I bow. I'm like, I will not jaywalk.
I will tell you that I was in Wawa the other day.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Oh, so good. And I was getting a coffee and there were two cops in the parking lot. And I did not commit a crime, obviously. I went in, I made a coffee, I paid for a coffee, and then I walked out. And I was so nervous seeing the cops, even though I did nothing wrong, that I went out the wrong door.
Oh, and they gave you a ticket for it.
And I was walking around the parking lot, which now caught their attention. And they asked if I needed help. And then I walked back to my car, which made no sense to them. I was like, I'm not going to leave till they leave because I know I'm going to like reverse into another car. I got so freaking nervous.
They're probably thinking you're definitely shaking a bag of cocaine out of the bottom of your pants.
Yeah, so
I just sat in my car drinking. I'm like, they're gonna have to leave, right? They have to.
So you got on their radar.
Perfect crime. I paid for my coffee.
You got on their radar being a weirdo, and then you sat in your car and acted even weirder. Now that you know they were paying attention to you.
Yeah, just sitting there drinking a coffee, which they've already forgot about me. They're back in conversation. Man. I just get real nervous with cops. I don't know what it is. I did nothing wrong. I paid. It was $1.67.
Because you watched too much damn Forensic Files.
Yeah, but the thing with Forensic Files is they always think they're smarter than the cops. And you only need one good cop, one detective that knows what he's doing. And that's it. He's going to put it all together.
Yeah, and a lot of these times it's these guys, first... It's just their first time dunking their toes into the crime pool. And these guys are, sun up, sun down, catching crooks and looking for clues and shit. So you're really at a disadvantage. Your mom was right. You should never kill anybody, Lori.
No.
Solid
advice. I couldn't live with that guilt. Like I'd have to, or not that I'd have guilt, actually. That's the wrong word. I would just always think, is today the day they're going to come get me?
You want to hear some shit? I one time had a dream that I helped somebody bury a body. I don't even know who this person was. It was just like some faceless person in a dream. But I helped them bury a body. Had no role in the death of that person or anything like that. And woke up and for months thought that I really did hide a body and was like paranoid that the cops were coming.
See, if we lived in Minority Report, they would have arrested you.
That's a good point.
Remember that movie?
Yeah, precogs.
Yep.
Could have been on your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be in jail.
Very good movie. No, I mean, not Judgment Night good, but I like it a lot.
I like that movie a lot. Shuddy Boy, did you like Minority Report?
I've only seen it once when it
Shuddy.
And I remember...
You only have to see it once.
I love Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder is a great Tom Cruise movie.
What are your thoughts on Days of Thunder, Lori?
Um, I don't remember it that well. I remember thinking it's okay. It's where he met Nicole Kidman, right? They
Yep.
fell in love in that movie in
Yeah.
real life.
Shit.
Dude, I love Big Mama's house.
What are your thoughts on
I
Big
think
Mama's
that
house?
isn't Days of Thunder though. Isn't it the same as every sport movie? Like
Might
he's
as well
doing
be.
well. He gets injured, has to do well again. It's like it's Rocky, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But not every sports movie has a hospital wheelchair race between Tom Cruise and Michael Rooker.
That is
But
true.
I think we had that in Born in 4th of July.
Damn
I
it.
think she's on to something.
Damn it.
Not a sport movie, but I'm Tom Cruise here.
All right, Top Gun.
Wheelchairs,
What
Tom
about Top
Cruise,
Gun?
Yeah.
I think that's the same story as Days of Thunder.
Shuddy,
Wait, did he get injured? What did he?
Shuddy
No.
swears Top Gun and Days of Thunder are superior, far superior to True Lies.
Oh yeah, you're a Tom Arnold stan. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to go with True Lies here. But I do think Top Gun's an amazing film. And it is a film that, unlike Nomadland, you feel good after watching that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that everyone that has seen that when you're under 16, you're like, I'm going to be a fighter pilot. I remember saying, I have 20/20 vision. You know, I have like no
That's it,
hand-eye
tiny.
coordination at all, but like I thought that I could be a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Take my breath away.
Top Gun is one
Yeah.
Francis McDormand shitting in a bucket away from a five-dicker in Shuddy Boy's eyes.
It is a 5-dicker.
Yeah,
Is that your
he was
favorite
flirting-
movie, Shuddy Boy?
It's in my top 5, absolutely.
Yeah, he
What
was
else is
flirting
in
with
this?
Mount Rushmore territory.
Field of Dreams,
It's a great movie.
Chasing Amy,
She's never seen
Scott
that.
Pilgrim versus the World,
I've seen it.
and Goonies.
Interesting.
She hates your movies.
It's
So
so,
they're
an
all
interesting meme.
very much on the lighter side of things. So
nothing like in 2 decades that you liked.
Scott Pilgrim.
yeah.
That's like 10 years old, I think, at this point.
I love all the Marvel movies, but I wouldn't put them top 5 just for longevity reasons, because these are all movies I've loved since I was a kid. Mostly.
I feel like most of the classic movies, or movies that at least I would consider classic in the last 15, 20 years, say about 75% of them are starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
I will tell you my favorite movie. Let's see if you guys can get to this level. Have you ever seen Heat?
With Val Kilmer and
Yeah.
Robert De Niro?
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Of course,
greatest
yeah.
cast ever.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I didn't hear the T
I mean,
at
not
the end.
Armageddon, but sure.
I thought you said, have you seen He? And I thought that was like a prequel to Her, the Joaquin Phoenix movie where he falls in love with his phone. I was like, what the fuck is He? Oh, yeah,
Where he
Heat.
changed the fucking tone.
I one time for Mother's Day, I bought my mom Heat on DVD, knowing that she would give it back to me.
Because you wanted it. Because it's so fucking good. I mean, this movie, at the end, when Val Kilmer's very hurt, he was shot in the neck. He's going to get his wife. She's there with Al Pacino. Well, he's not there, but he set it up. She's going to turn on him to the authorities. And she walks out and
Spoiler.
she sees him and she goes, she gives him like that move. Chills. So good.
You know what I've
Wait.
discovered recently since the new year? I've discovered old samurai movies. There's a whole bunch of them on HBO Max, and I've been watching them like a fiend. I recently just blew through. Have you ever heard of Lone Wolf and Cub?
No.
I have not seen the actual Lone Wolf and Cub. I am familiar with the parody that they do of it on Bob's Burgers.
This might surprise you, Lori, but me and Kevin are single.
These things, I'm telling you, they're like from the 70s, and he's this fat, blobuous samurai. He kind of looks like somebody just gave John Lovitz a katana. And this chubby motherfucker just slices people up. It's like It's like Kill Bill, like when somebody gets a limb chopped off and this neon red blood is just like a fire hose. These movies are fucking wild. There's.
Well, isn't this what Quentin Tarantino like watched all the time before he wrote?
He had to have. They have to be a huge influence on Tarantino because they have that. They start with like the campy 70s porno music, and then this fat goofy motherfucker just walks around and just slices people up in a heartbeat. They're quick movies. They're like 80 minutes long. There's 6 of them. They're all on HBO Max, and they are ruthless. This fucking guy cuts down like women, children. He doesn't give a fuck. His fat
Is
ass.
it the same guy in every film?
Yeah, and they must have filmed them all at once because I think 3 of them came out in 72, and the final one came out in 74. And the little boy, who's the cub, he's got to be like 3 years old or something like that.
Wow.
And he doesn't get any older through all 6 movies. But I'm telling you, they kick so much ass. I was having the time of my life. They're a huge Tarantino vibe off of them.
What is the lead guy's name? Do you know it?
Oh, I got to look it up because it's a long name. Let me see. And it's
based off of a manga.
yes, and the guy who wrote the manga wrote the screenplays for them too. So the guy's name is Tomisaburo Wakayama.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Oh no! He died. I think he might have died closely after the last ones. Actually, no. He was in Black Rain, the Michael Douglas movie. So he might have made it to the might have made it to the 90s. But yeah,
Laura, you're like really good at pretending like you care about things. I'm impressed.
I am interested in it. When someone's really passionate about something, I do like that. When
That's what keeps me around.
Kevin's so engaged about this film.
I just started
6 of
watching
them.
because I signed up for HBO Max and they have a lot of Criterion movies. So I started watching some older flicks like these old Akira Kurosawa samurai movies that are like in black and white from the 50s. And I was hanging on every fucking second of them. This is like sober Kevin, just like, whoa. Like they're so fucking good.
I did go on a brief kung fu movie kick when I went down that really deep Wu-Tang dive that I went on.
Yeah, Shuddy went through and listened to every Wu-Tang album and then every Wu-Tang member's side project album.
Shaolin.
This one of my neighbors has a sign outside on their lawn, where like it's the type of sign that says like voted for Trump or voted for Biden.
Does it say make something great again? Make Shaolin great again or something?
No, well, it says presidents are temporary, Wu-Tang is forever.
I've seen that on Instagram.
The people, the young couple 2 houses down from me had that out during election season.
That's good.
And when they came for trick or treat, I was like, that is just, we had thought about buying that and then you put it out 2 days later. So that's awesome.
Couldn't jack your style.
Yeah, that's a trend that I would love to see spread. I feel like if I had one of those, if I had a yard and not an alley full of poop and slime, if I put that up and then I saw my other neighbors putting it up, I'd be like, fuck yeah. That wouldn't bum me out.
You could probably write that in the dust on your neighbor's car that hasn't moved.
It's so gross, but it's being guarded by some pretty fierce turds, so I don't want to get that close to it.
It's a moat, a turd moat.
Yeah. It's like, I really wish this motherfucker would move their car at least once or twice so these people know that this is like they see the dust, they see that car never moving, they're like, this is where I shall shit forever.
Have you sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Have you ever seen the paper towels that they use, like our napkins? That's what gets me the most disgusted. When I see the turd and then I see that they also wiped and just dropped it on the ground.
That's the weird part. I never see the teepee. So they're just walking around with stinky, poopy asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bummer. I watched another movie. I actually watched a recent movie. Have you guys heard about? I fucked it up. Boss Level. I almost said Final Level, but Boss Level.
Yes.
No.
Heard of it.
It's a Hulu
This-
movie with Frank Grillo. Do you know Frank Grillo?
No.
He's I don't know how to-
Crossbones in Captain America.
I was trying to find a reference she would get.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not helping me.
sorry. That's all I know him from.
He's in a lot of action movies, but he's never really the guy, but he's the guy in this one. And it's another time loop movie. I feel like they're doing a lot of those lately, like Happy Death Day, Palm Springs.
What is this called? Boss Level?
Boss Level, yeah.
Wait, it's got Mel?
Oh, okay. I know this dude.
Yeah, Mel Gibson's the bad guy in it.
Oh my god. What
So
a
it's-
change of pace, but okay.
It's an
It
action.
actually got 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is high for a movie like this.
It's a good flick. It's for a movie that I didn't know was coming out, and then I heard like some of the Puminati talking about how dope it was. So I fired it up, and I'm starting to get wear a little thin on the Groundhog's Day time loop movies, but this did it pretty well. Like a time loop.
Dude,
action movie.
Naomi Watts is in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty solid cast. What's his name? Ken Jeong is in it.
Gronk is in it. Jeff Gronk is in it.
Rob Gronkowski?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right,
he,
now
you know
I'm
that?
interested.
he's
I
the
didn't
guy.
know.
He's the guy in the helicopter with the minigun. So he just keeps getting killed over and over, and when he gets killed, he respawns in his bed, immediately getting attacked by this dude, and he has to like. Mel Gibson runs this company where they've created this big crazy machine that ends up being the cause of the time loop, and he pretty much just has to find his way. Like he just keeps getting killed and learning lessons, and then he meets up with Michelle Yeoh, and she teaches him how to use a sword, and he like keeps getting killed over and over so he can train with her. Solid flick. It's quick. The only bummer is the ending. Ending gets a thumbs down for me.
Did
They were doing
do
so
they
well.
decide to go live in an RV and not pursue life with humans?
He poops in a bucket, but we see it from the bucket's perspective. It's brutal. Out of nowhere, terrible way to end a movie. No, they just, without spoiling much, it's like, oh, fuck yeah, we're gearing up for the big thing. And then the credits roll, and it's like, wait, what? You just had one
No.
more scene. One more scene.
Oh, they hate with the Sopranos, huh? Nice.
Yeah, like there was no reason to end the movie where they ended it. I do not understand it. And it is a bummer.
Wait, are you
Good
guys excited for the Sopranos prequel?
I never watched
I
The
haven't even heard of
Sopranos.
that.
Neither have I.
What?
I am excited. I need to rewatch The
James
Sopranos. It's been long.
Gandolfini's real life son is playing Tony.
That's cool in some respects. That's cool. I'm not gonna hot take that one. Sopranos kicks ass. I'm gonna rewatch The Sopranos. I say that a lot. I've seen it. Like I saw it when it was on TV. My parents just fucking love Sopranos, and that doesn't feel like a story that would be bad. Like it
I
feels
think
like a
it's
good
called.
prequel.
I think it's called Newark.
The Many
Something like
Saints
that.
of Newark.
Yeah. By the way,
Who's-
just putting this out there, my favorite acting performance ever is James Gandolfini in True Romance.
Yes, he's
Wow.
excellent in True Romance.
Oh, it's like unbelievable. He's like has to, kill her, but he respects her, and it's like a duet, and it's so good. So great.
I don't
I can't
hate
believe we
that
lost
take
that
at all.
guy.
Thank
Thank you.
I'm more of I like the Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken the scene a little bit more, but I hear what you're
Sicilians,
saying. Yeah.
Vera Farmiga is playing Tony Soprano's mom.
She
Hey, Tony,
Yeah, I
why you
guess
don't do your homework?
She's hot.
All right, well, before we wrap things up, what do you guys say we listen to a couple?
Voicemails, yay!
is it going to be the poop girl?
We'll
You're not
see.
that lucky.
Yeah, she really only
isn't the
chimes
subway.
in on special occasions lately. I'm just looking through the caller
I'm
ID.
sending you guys pictures from the subway because it's always my
please do.
girlfriend was on it today, and someone took his penis out and just stood next to her because she was alone.
That hot. Oh,
And this was like going to the Oculus, which is like where the World Trade Center was. It's like there's an Apple store.
Yeah, this guy was a banker.
she was.
He's like,
she wasn't ready. She wasn't in penis site mode. I got you.
Huh?
He had a lot of confidence. He wasn't homeless.
So crazy, what's going on?
Yeah, I walked by a guy because I mentioned on the other side of Poop Slime Alley is a major street in Studio City, and I was walking home from getting some takeout, and this homeless guy gets up from a bench, pants and underwear around his ankles, and he just waddles out with his like hairy dick, and just gets to the street and just starts pissing into it. And this was at like 2 p.m, and dude's just pissing in broad daylight on the street. Like, oh wow.
And the thing that pisses me
it.
off, like I've had a similar experience happen a few times, and I'm always like, don't look. You know what's happening, don't look. But I look just like it's like a car accident on the side of the road and someone's decapitated. Like I look and then it ruins my day because the person's never circumcised and I see everything.
You should carry around like a cigar cutter with you. And every time, whenever
there's get that foreskin for you.
Yeah, whenever there's a subway flasher, be like, Mazel tov.
I don't have cash, sir, but what I do have is a 4-inch razor blade.
Huh? Snip.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, and then I have a lighter to, cauterize the wound afterwards. What do you say?
This is for you, not me.
Okay, I think, judging by the attempt at transcribing this voicemail, I know who this is.
Mad Scientist Party Hour. It's Mighty Boognish here. Wanted to call and wish you guys a happy 500th episode on 420 Monday. You're probably already recording, so I missed it.
Yep,
but
I missed it.
Smoke one for me. I love you guys. Miss you. Congrats on 500. Feels like just yesterday that I was there for 200. And God damn it, we're all getting old. Yeah. You guys rule. Boognish loves you.
I love that person.
Speaking of Boognish, he got the Seth Rogen pineapple pancake ice weed as well. And so this guy, he works at G-Pen. Like, his career is weed. He is a big-time stoner, smokes the fuck out of weed. He did 2 bong hits of it and was completely thrashed.
Wow.
So it's not just narcs like me that are getting whooped by this stuff. Like, even seasoned veterans
pros.
like the Boognish. Yeah, the pros.
Professionals.
Yep. Not to be Oh. All right, buckle up, Lori. So we have this new guy who's started calling the show. This is the first time I've ever seen this. When people call, their phone number shows up next to their message.
Yeah.
This one's just lists the law firm this guy works at. So
allegedly,
he calls and just absolutely shreds us every time.
Solino and Barnes.
All right, here we go. It's another long one. So
this is a major podcast you're on, Lori. This is impressive.
I have sweat building up.
Jeff and Shuddy, prepare your butts because I think we're about to get thrashed.
Gentlemen, my name is Mike Hopkins. I'm the head of Amazon Studios, and it's my job to scour the marketplace for talent, and I've never heard anything like your show. It's the most cutting-edge program I've ever heard. To have 3 hosts, 1 a trans man and 2 mentally challenged man children, it checks boxes that haven't even been created yet.
Wow.
Now, your life is about to change, and I'm going to explain to you very carefully how it's going to change. The first of you, the one with the deeper voice, you seem to be the one who might be able to actually read a contract and interpret the information. You seem to have your
That's
act
me.
halfway together while the other two flounder around in their lives trying to survive. That's not the kind of person we're going to partner with for this venture. If you can read, not interested. So you're fired. I'm very sorry to report that. And we're going to replace you with either maybe an animal or a plant, perhaps. The second of you, the trans man who does impressions, you're going to be the face of this package. And I need you to imagine with me. I need you to close your beady little eyes and imagine this. Imagine every single billboard on Sunset Boulevard featuring your androgynous head sitting atop your nude, pale, shapeless body. It's Tilda Swinton's head on the body of one of those creatures from The Descent. It's an image that's going to be burned into the heads of every American 3 months from now. Now the last one of you. You.
Yeah, I want to hang out with him.
You are going to be the breakout star of this whole thing. When I hear your voice,
I know.
4 words keep running through my mind. Cerebral palsy, Ray Romano. You're going to be a hero for every mentally disabled child in the world. As I speak right now, we are creating a prototype action figure of you. And I want you to imagine what it would be like when you have millions of mentally challenged children in 100 countries with your action figure.
Oh my God.
Their slobbery, moaning mouths sucking on your rubbery, non-toxic head. Imagine what that's going to do for the self-esteem of every kindergartner who eats paper, every teenager who has Velcro on his shoes, every grown man who walks to a urinal and drops
Laura,
his
this is
hands
one
to his
take.
ankles. You're not going to be a
I
star.
love this man.
I don't know your name. You're not going to be a star. You're going to be an icon. So listen, I'm sure you guys have representation given the quality of entertainment you're producing. I'm going to reach out to them and get this whole thing started, but your lives are about to change. Ciao, baby.
It's exciting.
Gentlemen, as somebody
you, Mike
who got a
Hopkins.
law degree on Google, I say you sign. Like, this is the deal.
I want to be in business with this guy. You're right.
I pray he writes me in on the next voicemail. Please let me have a part, even if I'm just serving food.
I don't know how he does it because Google Voice cuts off at 3 minutes. That one clocked in at 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And he gets that close to the buzzer every time. I see the list of all the calls. He never calls in and fucks up and needs another take. One take every time.
He's
The
with
best.
Amazon Studios.
Yeah, they have their shit together over there. Yeah, it's a good point.
I gotta say,
Alexa's telling him, she's like, you have 4 seconds left.
I gotta say, I will give him one little knock. While cerebral palsy, Ray Romano is good. Head injury Yoda guy is still his top burn on you.
Wait, I love that he called Kevin Tilda, though.
Oh man, I think cerebral palsy Ray Romano is my favorite thing I've ever been called.
I think it shouldn't say the dragon anymore.
Oh yeah, that's very
I used to change that until we realized that it doesn't show up in the recorded video.
Yeah, but just to annoy Jeff, you should do it.
Oh, I do every now and then. The last time I did it, he was Jeffrey Epstein.
However, Laura, you know I'm unflappable. You can change my name, whatever. You're not gonna get me off my game.
What the fuck? I'm not fucking head injury Ray Romano, you fucking pussy.
What was the Doodles Mocker one? What was that?
Oh, Jeffy Doodle
Supple
Smocker? Oh, what? There was a supple one, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I thought
Supple
it was
Doodles
supple
Mocker.
doodle smock.
Supple Doodle Smocker.
I would love to hear more voicemails from that lawyer.
I mean, he does them at this point. I would say once a month.
I think they're more bi-weekly.
This was his third one. He called in once and was like, I don't know how I found you guys. I stumbled upon one episode and then spent 3 minutes just thrashing the shit out of us. Just reducing us to quivering children.
A pile of ash.
Yeah.
I want to hang with him.
I would pay to fly there to see this man. I have a feeling he lives out there.
I want to Google his law firm, but I like the air of mystery. I just want to leave it where it is.
I don't want to ruin it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like when you Google someone's net worth. Just don't.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
worth it. Changes it.
I'm gonna leave this where it is.
Or like somebody
why-
tells you they don't like peanut butter.
Watch the law firm be some sort. I didn't want to talk about that again. Watch the law firm be like some sort of reference. Like if that's the case, this guy might be the GOAT, you know?
What, like in
it's
2
like
years that we're gonna learn that the law firm is just another subtle dig at us that we just didn't get?
Yeah, or it's like from a movie or something. Like it's not like it's a bullshit law firm. It doesn't really exist. And when you Google it, it'll take you like to Lemon Party or something. You know?
Well, I'm not gonna Google it to find out. I'm not gonna blow this guy's spot up and announce it. This guy is he's just gonna roast us until he gets bored of it.
No,
I guess.
unlike Nomadland, this is ending on a happy note because that voicemail was nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, and he's like a real fan. I mean, those were really deep details about you guys.
Either
Sure,
that
fan.
or he just hates us so much he's just perfected it to an art form. Either
Remember
way.
in the Howard Stern movie, Pig Vomit says the people that love you are averaging listening, whatever it was, like 45 minutes a day. The people that hate you are averaging listening to you an hour a day.
That was the perfect reference. That's exactly what was in my head. I could care less if he hates me. Thank you for the voicemail. Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope he's subscribing.
I hope so too.
Probably not. if you take him at his word in his voicemails, he's probably not subscribed.
But I do have to
Yeah,
get
if you take him at his word, he's listened to us once and he's just hated us that much.
I really hope that's the case. I love that.
That he
that
just can't
subplot.
stop thinking about ways to tell us how much we suck.
Yeah, that one episode chafed his ass so much that like anytime he has a free minute, he's like, I call these fucking idiots again and just roast them.
A free
Can
3
you
minutes.
imagine if he's pooping in Poop Alley?
Oh my god. He's just
His mind would be blown.
Yeah.
he's just
And working in a law firm.
yeah, he's devoted all of his free time to just making our lives hell. Well, I do have to give props to the Puminati. So we tried last week to get 1,000 iTunes reviews before episode 500 hit, and
And we did it.
we did it. You know, by the time
We did
we
it.
started recording, it hadn't updated yet. But the next day we had like 1,022 or something like that. So the reviews were there. It just didn't update the page. So shout out to you, Puminati. You guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, you guys showed up hard.
You got us over 1,000. Fuck yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like the day of, it went from like 992 to like 980. It went down. And then the next day it jumped up like 50. And it's like, what the
How does
fuck?
it go down?
Because again, it's like
Algorithms.
the internet algorithms bullshit. Like the reviews were there. It just took a second for Apple to register.
Yeah.
Fuck boys.
Well,
Don't even get me going on Apple.
It's about to be 1,023. So
fuck yeah.
when I get off,
Well, Lori, thank you for joining us. I really, really miss you. I've known
I miss
you. I've known you for probably close to 15 years at this point.
Yeah,
Just from
crazy.
yeah, when I used to work the phones at Superfan Roundtable.
Those were the days.
Yep.
My favorite thing about those days was the free pizza. Isn't that sad? That's sad, right?
That was some good New York pizza.
I always bring that up to Rob too. I'm like, I don't know why, it just made me happy.
Well, and send
Like
send
the
Rob.
days-
Stern.
The days that it was late, like some days it wouldn't get there till after the show, I was so mad. And it's like, why didn't I just buy a slice of pizza?
You're just
No,
sitting there
I,
in front of a
needed it.
microphone. You're like, I'm not saying shit until I get a slice of pizza.
Yeah. And then someone would come in and take a pie and say, I'm bringing it back to whomever. And I'd be so fucking pissed because now I got a ration.
Well, send our best to Rob Sprance and Fortney and Franco and, you know,
Mr.
Prince-
PP.
Prince Charles,
Aw,
whoever the
I
next
miss
fucking
Mr. PP.
megastar
Yeah.
you guys have on is your next interview.
Did you
Yeah, I
guys
think we're
reverse
having-
Rooney rule? Black Joe? Is he still around?
Black Jojo Black.
He moved to Pennsylvania and we've not heard from him. I think Rob sends some texts here and there.
Put him in contact with Shuddy. Shuddy's in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, you should hire him. He's probably really good with ASCII. Is that how you say it?
You 100% should hire him. That motherfucker, dude. He worked. We worked together, me, him, and Sprint, and this motherfucker put up a 76-hour work week one week. And a Monday through Friday, he put up 76 hours. Like, this motherfucker was the most committed.
But I will tell you,
seen.
If you tell him to be somewhere at 6 p.m., he will get there at 9 p.m. He will stay and do all that needs to be done, but time is not his thing.
Yeah, you don't want to get me canceled.
We'll tell.
Agreed. Yeah.
If Black Jojo Black joins the show, we'll tell him the same record time as we tell Jeff. Hey, we're recording at noon. Well, yeah, we're doing noon today, and then they both show up on time at 3.
Yeah, he's in his own time.
You were on time today.
I was, yeah. Kevin was late.
I was not late.
Even
I was on
crap.
time.
No, he was a minute early still. I was I was clocking you guys in, making note.
Fucking hall monitor over here.
Yeah. It's like Kevin still has a minute.
Snitch. You don't smoke pot and you record the times that we clock in?
That's
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Got it in the book here.
Yeah, so everybody check out The Hole, featuring Lori and Rob Sprance. What else you got to plug? Instagram,
That's
or
all
you're
I
not
have.
really using that much these days? Just
I mean, I use it, but I keep it on private. So
smart move.
yeah,
That's the way. to do it.
because people are weird.
They are.
Yeah.
They will send you DMs of them pooping in boxes.
I mean, if I could get that Amazon studio guy to call me or write to me on Instagram, I would.
You don't want to open up that
Just
door.
remember, Mike Hopkins. So if someone requests you and it's Mike Hopkins, you accept that one.
Dude, I'm accepting it, and it would make my year. It's only
Yeah, he's gonna
March.
get
My
your
year would be
DMs.
made.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. If you need more MSPH in your life, please check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. And our YouTube has been up and running for months now, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. We get the full video episodes up, minus the Easter egg. We keep those audio exclusive. And you can also follow us on Instagram. We're not private, at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeffro Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. You can also check out Jeff's other podcast, Fade the Media. And if you want to be a part of voicemails, yay. If you're an actual Amazon exec, hit us up. It's 201-472-0139, or you can just shoot your emails to madscientistpartyhour@gmail.com. Shuddy, you got anything?
No, sir.
Wait, I don't want to limit it to Amazon. Hulu, it's also open for you. HBO Max, this is open for you as well.
Good catch. Crackle.
Trying to
We'll
get
do
a
Crackle.
deal here.
If you bring back Quibi, we'll be on there.
HLN,
Pluto
Files.
TV, anybody. Just get at us.
And send Shuddy Boy some He-Man toys. But until
Yes.
next time, something!